Ooh, how is everyone? Hope you's having a fantastic, beautiful summer's eve. Because I have, even though I really shouldn't have spent most of it inside reading and
Hmm.
gaming
I
and
mean, it's
watching Star Trek.
it's not actually summer yet, but it's starting to feel like it some days, including today.
Mm, it is I, low energy, and we are joined by Krendar and Red Eye, who will appear most likely later.
He's
Um,
here in sleepy spirit.
Yeah, the time difference can be a little bit on the wonky side, considering he is in a country that does not exist according to Landon. Um, but
And a most learned gentleman on the internet, in fact.
yeah,
It's definitely not real, and neither are birds.
no. And you should definitely prove that by going to not Australia, because once you fly around the ocean for a bit, when you land, all those paid actors who pretend to be Australians and that fake Potemkin city known as
Hmm.
Sydney and all that,
And
it'll be.
and the monitors that are on the windows of the plane to make it look like there's something out there.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Hmm.
the I'm picturing like some deep in the weeds sort of flat earther would just believe it would be like that episode of Rick and Morty where Jerry's been put on the treadmill by the scammer aliens to keep him preoccupied forever. With the holograms constantly appearing and disappearing behind him. It's solipsistic and it's also schizophrenic in many ways, and I for one don't stand by
Hmm.
it, but it is very funny when people believe it.
I just love that. First of all, solipsistic is a good word. Second of all, did I ever tell you about the RPG I played that had an ability called solipsistic self defense or something like that?
I think
It,
so. I think you
it
mentioned it
was
in Philly.
maybe just a quick reminder in case anybody's here that doesn't know what I'm talking about. It was a funny ability where if your character gets hit by an attack that you didn't see coming, you can spend a resource point to just ignore that attack because it didn't happen. You didn't see it happen.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
Pretty funny.
Also, it's that it's that joke from The Simpsons as well, where if I didn't see it, it's not illegal. He's got us there, sir, and Homer's just running around the nuclear plant with his hands over his eyes.
Well, he is
um,
the inspector, so if he didn't see it, it didn't officially happen.
true. Um, all right, let's just do the standard stuff. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out the links down below, and we have a very busy month here on the channel. I will be gaming a bunch more games until we can find until I've exhausted my supply of the games I've never been able to really play on it up to now. And then don't forget we also have 2 episodes of UFF. Magicus will be on the 12th, and I still don't know when Chesh is. I'm sure she told me when she was on last. I was very drunk and I didn't write it down.
Also, I
Um.
love the fact that you genuinely mixed me up with Magicus at one point,
Oh
without
yeah.
even without even memeing anymore.
It just becomes second nature now. Um.
I didn't even realize it at first. You were like, "Oh yeah, and Krendar's gonna come and join me for Final Fantasy IV." And I'm like, "I am? I don't remember agreeing to that. I mean, I like the game, but I don't remember signing up for this specifically." And then
uh,
later, I remembered, "Oh yeah, Magicus did."
yeah. At this point now, you're just gonna become the same person at 1.1. It'll be it's oh my god, are you Johnny Silverhand to him to his V, or is it vice versa? No, Magicus
It's
is
it's
gonna be
it's
Johnny.
it's a quantum state. It's both of those things at the same time. And
Oh,
we'll find out which one of us gets to keep the body afterwards.
put the card in your mouth and pull the trigger.
Oh man, I
um,
really enjoyed him playing that role. But when you're done doing the intro stuff, by the way, I have a thing I want to
no,
say.
we're
But
kind of done.
okay, so first of all, happy Star Wars Day, everybody. May the Fourth be with you, as it is that today.
Is
Which leads me into my topic of how in the past I've talked a few times about there being a certain handful of games out there that it seems like everybody on the internet just universally loves shitting all over the game. But then I end up trying it and finding that I actually enjoyed it after all.
I
It's
have
not actually
noticed
as
that.
bad as everybody's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced another one this week because a certain game went on sale for 50% off, and at the same time they released a demo for it, which as far as I can tell is the first time there's been a demo for this game. So I gave the demo a try, and lo and behold, nowhere close to as bad as the internet says it is. I'm actually pretty damn good. So I took advantage of the 50% off sale, and I now have a copy of Star Wars Outlaws.
I had a feeling you'd say Outlaws.
Yeah, well, I did say it was linked to being Star Wars Day. Plus,
I
I've
know,
mentioned
but
the fact that I was eyeballing Outlaws as well.
true.
But yeah, pretty good. I think a lot of people just wanted to play Star Wars games but don't like stealth games, and it is a stealth game. So it's you could almost jokingly call it Scoundrels Creed, but because it is made by an Ubisoft-owned company, but it's not. It doesn't really play like Assassin's Creed exactly. Well, it's got maybe some DNA, but it's not really an Assassin's Creed game. But it's been fun. It's got a little jank in some ways. A few things are a bit goofy about it, but overall, the Star Wars vibes are strong. Like it really feels like Star Wars. It's even got a flying your spaceship around segment to the game,
Mm-hmm.
which is open world just like everything else. So you can just freely fly around like asteroid fields and debris fields and shit. Search for loot, fight pirates. Although I've never been big on dogfighting game mechanics, so I don't really like the starship fighting. But I like the starship exploring, and sometimes there'll be like a debris field where it's like there's the hulk of a destroyed spaceship, and you can get some loot if you navigate your way inside of it and get some cargo from inside of it. And you have to figure out how to get in there and carefully maneuver. That stuff's fun. I don't know. I've been enjoying it mostly.
Um, from what I saw, I could see a lot. Oh, I actually, sorry, I'm just setting up something. I'll get your camera back real quick.
I didn't
Um,
even notice.
yeah. uh,
Remember, I'm not looking at the main screen unless you're showing it to me. So
all right. Yeah, that's my bad. I should have done something something I'm used to
Mhm.
by now. There we are. There, you're back on top. Um, so,
Hey,
yeah, I found that the footage of that game looked very, very interesting to me. If I didn't already have a huge roster of games to fulfill it, bar one thing,
mm,
it is set in the Star Wars universe, and you're not just a Jedi. You are like a scoundrel. You're a part. I like the Pike
yeah,
Syndicate. I like
I,
the
and
Hut
not just
space and all
and
that.
you're not just like any old scoundrel. Like you're specifically a newbie scoundrel. Well, relatively newbie. The character grew up as a thief on the back streets of Canto Bight,
Mm.
which from one of the movies. Remember the movie where they had the racetrack in the casino?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
Space
like
Monaco.
yeah, you start the game in that city. She grew up there as a back alley thief type character. So she's got some experience in general, but she gets thrown into situations that are way above her pay grade. So she's a newbie to dealing with crime syndicates and all that stuff. But yeah, like you said, there's the Pikes. There's like a reputation system in multiple gangs that you sometimes play off of each other. In fact, there's a lot of missions you take from them where it's like, steal this contraband and then deliver it to us. And then as you're delivering it, you're like, well, maybe I should deliver it to the other guys, double cross them instead,
Yep.
depending on which one you want to gain reputation with and which one you want to piss off. So there's a lot of back and forth in that sense. But yeah, at the beginning of the game, there's the Pikes, Crimson Dawn,
Dawn.
and the
Hell yeah, I've
Huts.
always liked Crimson Dawn. Oh, is a certain red-faced guy with robo legs still in charge of it at this point?
I haven't met anybody like that, so no.
Okay.
For reference, by the way, I was mentioning that Canto Bight is the planet from the one movie, but this takes place much before that movie because it takes place somewhere during 4, 5, 6. Well, 4 or 5. It
Mm.
The game takes place during the rise of the Rebel Alliance. So you're fighting Storm. In addition to being up against bandits and crime syndicates, you're also up against the Empire and stormtroopers.
Okay. Well,
But sorry, just real quick, because they add more syndicates as you go. I don't know if every planet does. There's at least 4 planets in the game. I know I went to this planet called Kijimi, which I'd never heard of before, but they added an additional crime syndicate to the list when I got there, called the Ashiga clan, which seem to be these bug people.
cool.
I don't know. Interesting shit's happening. You recruit people for a big heist that's going to happen later, sort of Ocean's 11 style, and there's some strong personalities and crazy characters. Like, do you know the name of the race? That there's this alien race that's like these little short guys that have like bat faces.
They're not.
They're almost like Ewoks, but bats
Do they
and not
say I
primitive.
have spoken?
Somebody said that in the game, but I don't. It wasn't her.
Okay.
It was somebody else. Anyway, one of the people you recruit is an explosives expert. That's one of those little bat people, and she is fucking intense and borderline insane, and loves explosions. So she's fun. Anyways, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's got its problems. I will say, full price was 90 Canadian dollars, and I'm glad I didn't pay that for it.
No.
It's it's well worth the 40 that I did pay though.
Hmm. Well, sometimes you get joy out of it, and it is something that down the line I would love to
Fun.
snag up myself. Like I, I,
Yeah.
I like the I like the mod. A lot of people don't like the modern setting or like the extensive use of the Clone Wars, and I agree in the sense that all those settings are kind of overdone. It's why the Acolyte appealed to me because it was a setting we hadn't seen before, but obviously that didn't pan out. But the premise of having it set in a time that isn't overdone. But if you're going to have an area that we're aware of, show it from an angle that we're not really used to, like Andor, which isn't about
Mhm.
Jedi and shit like that. Or Skeleton Crew, which isn't about Jedi and
Yeah.
shit like that. It's about
Yeah, the
like
game's
just
handling
regular
that
people.
well. Yeah, the game's handling that well because even though it is happening in a time period that we know because it's from the original movies, uh, I don't know if there's gonna. I can't say yet if there's gonna be no Jedi at all in the game because I don't think I'm even halfway through the game yet. But I haven't seen any yet. Haven't even heard of anybody talking about any. I have fought stormtroopers and Imperial officers. I've seen an ATST walker. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to be fighting that because I'm just some asshole with a blaster pistol. But uh, I saw one guarding a facility, and I had to sneak around it, which was kind of neat. And yeah, there's the. So far, I've been siding primarily with Crimson Dawn, but ideally, you're supposed to be playing all the syndicates off each other equally. So I've been working on getting my reputation up with the Pikes because they've been kind of mad at me lately. So I need to bring my reputation up with them so they don't attack me on sight so much. One of the benefits to the reputations is the crime syndicates have certain areas inside of towns and outside of towns that are like their territory.
Mm.
And if you're at high reputation with them, if they're happy with you, you can enter their territory freely. But if you're not in their good books, then they'll attack you for going into their territory because you're not allowed there. You're not their friend, which then further degrades your reputation because now they're pissed off at you for trespassing. So I want to get my reputation up with everybody to at least good so that I can go wherever I want and not have to worry about getting attacked. Other than the random bandits and stuff outside of town, but they're not a reputation. So if they attack me, I don't lose reputation with anyone.
Yeah, freebies, good tutorial enemies.
Yeah, and I like how they handle the Empire. They handle the Empire differently than the Syndicates because first of all, you can't gain reputation with the Empire. You can't work with them and make them happy with you, which is great because I would feel gross if I did that. But they're treated more like the police, which is essentially what they are because like the places they've taken over, they're basically the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you piss them off or intrude on Imperial restricted places, then they treat it more like a GTA style wanted system at that point.
Right. Well, that again
So you
makes
can run
sense.
away. Yeah. You can run away, wait for the heat to die down, or there are certain corrupt Imperial officers in towns that you can bribe to call off the search for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been good. It's been pretty good. I'd give it a good 7 out of 10, I think.
Uh, as for me, I I've been going through a lot of different games I never had a chance to or get that much. I've been playing a bit of Baldur's Gate. I've been able to play obviously Elder Scrolls Remaster. A lot of which you've already I've shown here on the channel.
Hmm.
I gave Monster Hunter World a go and it was okay. Didn't hate it. Didn't love
Yeah,
it.
I've been playing that a bit lately because I got a friend of mine gifted it to me. I'm probably going to skip the Iceborne DLC despite people who love Monster Hunter saying that I should really get it because
Mm.
apparently the reputation for the Iceborne expansion seems to be pretty universal on the fact that the new monsters in it have just ridiculously high health pools, even as compared to the regular monsters, which are already a bit beefy because the game is designed to be played in a party. You can solo it, but it's really been designed and balanced for multiplayer, so like between 2 to 4 people.
Mm.
So it's got the. I don't know if being in a party affects the monster's health or not, but I will tell you that they certainly have a lot of HP. if you're playing solo.
Um, on top of that, I also played a little bit of Nomad Sky. And speaking of multiplayer, I realized about an hour in that it'd be probably best if in a week or two I gather a posse of people who a lot of people have been coming forward to play Nomad Sky with me.
Hmm,
So that might be a streaming thing pretty soon.
cool.
Obviously Starfield, which I yep, and I am going to play two characters, one for myself, and where I just doss around, I fuck around, I have fun, and my character in for streams where we will, I shit you not, I'm gonna plan to survey every single world 100% and do
You're
every side
insane.
quest. Yeah, this is gonna take maybe the whole year to mill through. I don't even have the DLC yet, but when I get it, I will.
You
Um,
may want to rethink that.
yep. Well, if I hit a wall of any type, I will eventually go like fuck it. But coming soon will be Resident Evil 7 for the first time, Far Cry 5 not for the first time, Final Fantasy 3 we're going to be going back to, and of course Final Fantasy 4 with Magicus pretty damn soon. And
Cool.
on top of that, I think also I'll try some Death Stranding. I'm being
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of these games though, they're gonna start feeling the same, so I should try to spice it up. Plus, as you know, I was talking about getting a third guest on for UFF, and even I'm gonna do a bit of Age of Empires 3 with Commissar Feelgood in the coming weeks. I just have to pin down an exact date. So it's gonna be
Cool.
really busy here. On top of that, I'm off to Dublin, and I'm making a video on Wednesday. It has nothing to do with any of this. Um, so yeah,
All
I'm gonna
kinds
be
of stuff
streaming.
going on.
Yeah, stream wise at
Speaking of
least.
speaking of Final Fantasy streams, I've been watching who has somebody who's done a lot of Final Fantasy 14, the MMO streaming, who has recruited a friend of hers who's never played it before to do a playthrough of the story with her. So
Okay.
like get to see her friend reacting to seeing all this stuff for the first time. And in fact, that person has never played any Final Fantasy game of any kind ever before. So interesting to see her react to seeing like chocobos and Shiva and Nefrit and everything for the first time and all that stuff.
Mm. Speaking of stream, shall we get into ours? I mean, technically we are, but we also got plenty of content. A lot of
We
which
do apparently.
a lot of which is brought to us by chat as well. Here's something though that I had here for a bit. Boop,
Mhm.
boop.
Ah, this guy. I've actually been a little bit annoyed with myself today because last night I was thinking to myself, "Oh, I should bring up this one video we can talk about on stream," and now I completely forget what it was supposed to
Eh,
be.
Fun fact, Volkswagen sells more sausages every year than they do cars. In 1973, Volkswagen created the Volkswagen Currywurst sausage to be served in their factory canteens, and also developed their own Volkswagen spiced ketchup to be paired with the sausage. Since its creation, the Volkswagen Currywurst sausage has become iconic, and the automaker pumps out over 8 million sausages every year at their Wolfsburg production facility in Germany, the same factory where Gulfs and Tiguan's are made. The sausages are then sold in their factory canteens across Europe, as well as in European supermarkets.
that's
And
right.
European Volkswagen dealerships are known to give customers a package of Volkswagen Currywurst sausages as a congratulatory gift when they come pick up their new car. And in light of changing eating habits, Volkswagen developed and began serving a vegetarian Volkswagen Currywurst sausage in 2010, and recently introduced a vegan Volkswagen Currywurst sausage.
Yep.
Beyond this.
I would definitely pick I'd definitely give that a go because like
Yeah, I want to try that now.
a lot of different brands branch out into some really weird territory that usually aren't for public consumption, but if enough people who work for them have them, they're like, oh yeah, we can also sell this separately. Like Bugatti sells more, makes almost as much money selling socks as they do cars because it's much easier to produce socks. But if you put the Bugatti
Yeah.
logo on them, I don't know what douchebag is like, wow, I'm going to spend an extra €12 to get a 6 pack of black socks that just so happen to have the Bugatti logo on it. But, you know, um, all right, here is, oh, on the same topic of food.
These are the worst named food ever. They are called farts of Portugal, or Portuguese farts. And yes, that is the real
Delicious.
name. They are sweet little meatballs from Tudor England, and ironically, they smell divine. They're made with lamb, mace,
They're not even
pepper,
from Portugal?
clove, dried currants, and dates. But why, oh why, are they called farts? Well, apparently, 16th century Europeans loved fart jokes, and they started off by naming these little
Who
round
doesn't?
pastries, which were puffed up with hot air, nuns' farts. What is with these people? Well, these meatballs don't have air in them, but they have the same shape, so they got the same immature naming treatment. Even worse, by the 17th century, a cookbook titled Le Cuisinier François, the forerunner to French haute cuisine, included a recipe for a sugared pastry called pet de putain, or farts of a... This English recipe for farts of Portugal is from 1585 and is typical of the flavors they...
Oh, one value of being a tiny channel, he can't say it, but I can. Farts of a whore. Yeah.
You'd find
Oh,
at the
I was
time,
trying
the
to.
savory,
I was like, why did they censor out whites?
unctuous flavor of boiled lamb mixed
The
with
West has fallen.
sweet fruit and the spices that we
It was-
would
it was that or
associate
whale, I
with Christmas.
thought.
They're actually surprisingly good, especially when served with a little gravy, and especially when you do not think about their terrible name. Full recipe is up on YouTube or in the Tasting History Cook.
Nice. Although I was thinking, calling something farts of a whore is very French.
Extremely. You are a fart of a whore. All right. I don't want to do any.
They should throw those things at people and then fart in their general direction.
Ooh, the event. Let's have a look. Boop. This is The Adventures of Mutilator, Hero of the Wasteland, Part 1 and 2 Death Misks. 1991 to 1992, United States. New York, Eric Fogel, sound on. Fuck yeah.
That sounds the only good thing about this.
What, you don't like 1989 proto MTV artwork?
Drawn by the little young son of an MTV exec.
I just realized there might be boob in this, which it's such a weird thing to say because look at the violence going on, but like, we can't let anyone see nipples or YouTube would be angry.
Mm-hmm. That's America for you.
It's America. Nope, no boob. So we can go back to the slaughter. Think of the children. This is all right though.
This looks like. Hold on, can you pause?
Yep.
It's very loud. This looks like a 15-year-old watched the heavy metal movie and really liked it and tried to make his own version.
This looks like the artwork you'd see in the very first Warhammer rule books.
Yep.
No, there's an orc. There's a Chaos Marine.
It's definitely on the level of artwork of like Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition or something too.
Damn, it's also pure seizure vision.
Yeah, this is painfully 90s. Possibly late 80s,
Well, it
even.
says 90, yeah, you could see this in the late 80s. What?
Oh yeah, early 90s. Yeah. And of course, the music doesn't fit it at all.
No, it was probably just his brother's garage band that just listened to, hey, I've got the footage.
Yeah. Gloriously terrible.
Ain't it? Why can't art return to this?
Because we're thankful it doesn't.
Yeah,
But we're thankful it existed so we can look back at it and have a chuckle.
absolutely.
Like, I need y'all.
The answer is both yes and no at the same time.
Okay, so that's the name of it.
Nah, that's not it, fam. That's not even remotely appropriate right there, fam. As a matter of fact, go check that truck I mean, the only way you getting away with this is if you just so happen to be a man of Asian descent and your last name is Ling. Because then I could kind of make it make sense, but I still wouldn't have, advised it, bro. Because you got to think about the optics. Black people tend to name businesses stuff that it shouldn't have been named in the first place, like this right here. So I just got a feeling it's one of us. But I'm just saying, think about it, bro. A child comes to the truck, gets some ice cream. They loved it, man. They come home. Mom, I got some ice cream today from the ice cream truck. Oh, my God. What'd you think? Oh, I love Mr. Dingling's ice cream. I beg your pardon?
Mr. Dingling is delicious. This reminds me of what was the name of that guy that for a while Billy the Fridge was using as like an equivalent of like the new calling a person a PDF. It was like Mr. Swirly or something.
Yes,
he was an ice cream guy.
Mr. Swirly, that's right.
Yeah. I think that was even better actually, because depending on how you pronounce it, calling somebody a PDF file could still be picked up by the algorithm as the thing you're trying not to sound like.
I still.
Whereas there's no risk of that with Mr. Swirly.
I
But
still
then there's
love
the risk that people don't understand you.
His Malmac era, where he was obsessed with Malmac, the Tupperware, like the plateware from like the late '60s that he remembered growing up, and like he was going on.
I don't remember that era. That might have been after I stopped watching.
Oh, that was just before I suppose he left. But he was there for like 4 episodes. It would just always be a joke, and he even like found old Malmac promotional videos to film, and he was like, "True fans get the Billy and Ben Malmac collectible plates." Shit, he was just gonna get like a Sharpie and crudely draw on Billy and Ben on the front of them.
So Billy's left DP now?
Yeah, he's been on Lolcow Live for a while now in one of the
Oh, never heard of that.
Yeah, I actually haven't really checked in on DP for a good long while. So you know what I'm gonna do right now? Let's just see what Ben's
I wonder if Ben's got a replacement for him, if he's just flying solo now.
Shabisky shows up a lot, but he's not a regular, so he's not every episode.
So he's just flying solo then. Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of.
Because having Shabisky there is equivalent to not having him there.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything.
Does Ben not do guests anymore? It's all just the topics.
Well, he might have guests. They're just not in the thumbnail.
But that used to be the thing where he'd always say guest, and.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe he is, maybe he's not.
Shani and Rev are mad.
He's still talking about Shani and Rev. This is one of the reasons your show is failing, Ben.
Yeah.
Take it from us, a show that never succeeded in the first place.
True, but then again, like that's a low number for DP right there.
Right, Keen. Oh man, he's really plumbing the bottom of the barrel on the old standard topics there, eh?
Yeah, there he is going solo. Jared.
Jared performing a solo.
Solo.
Yeah, it's just him now.
What the fuck? Ben. Well, you know what? Boo.
I'm gonna come and pay you a visit.
Solo.
And it occurred to me that...
Oh yeah, similar to how...
That's some Inception. If we watch that for more than a few seconds, we'd all be pulled in like a Junta Ito comic, where we'd all just get swirled into one streamer watching another streamer forever.
Yeah.
I heard he got.
It's like a hall of mirrors, but each mirror is a different stream.
I heard he got like absolutely smashed on stream like a few days ago and just walked off, leaving the stream for like an hour. And then he came back and turned it off. Like he's
not surprised.
He's done shit like that before, but I don't know. And I'm wearing my DP t-shirt right now. Like it's I'm not one of those people who are like death to Ben. He's ruined everything. I'm just there like, dude, come on, man. It ain't working like it used to. You gotta spice it up. Unlike us, who have found the perfect streaming balance forever. You know?
perfect way to stay at the exact 10 viewer balance permanently.
Damn right. Oh, great. Now you've just jinxed it. We're going to get like 9 viewers.
Oh no, 10% loss.
Oh yeah, God Save Birmingham. New survival game set in it's like a zombie survival game, but you're in like medieval Birmingham.
That sounds cool.
Oh, you actually didn't see the trailer? Okay.
I've never heard of this.
I like the new thing where they're showing zombies in medieval setting. Like, did you ever watch Kingdom? That was good. That was really good. It was set in Korea in like the 1500s, and they have no idea what these things. They're fast zombies too, but they're terrified of light, so they hide under buildings and like under like rocks and shit, and they come out once it gets dark. But they have
That's an interesting twist.
Yeah. All the while they're having like a civil war in Korea too. It's pretty cool.
Does the light actually hurt them, or are they just scared of it?
They don't know. I don't want to spoil too much in case you ever watch it, but it's
fair enough.
Yeah, there's some interesting twists. You think they figured it out really early on, and they twist it around, and then of course they have to tell people who have no equivalent to this, other than evil spirits have possessed people and shit.
Also, I like the idea of having more British-based games rather than everything being American.
Hell, let's go wilder. Like take it to the continents, Africa, South America, go nuts.
Yeah, no, that would be great too. But like, Adamfall was fun, for example, and that's in not just British, but specifically Cumberland.
It's kind of got a bit of a Dead Space dismembering going on.
Yeah, I like it. Medieval Dead Space.
Fuck you, Carrot.
That's not how you peel a carrot. You don't put the peel into your food.
Well, you probably did when you were a medieval peasant.
Yeah, probably.
That would be actually great if that was like a leveling mechanic, and as you got better, you just became a better chef. As your like, cooking skill went on, you start off just clumping doing a cobes and just throwing everything into the pot. And at the end of it, you're being really fine
it's like
precise about it.
Like every 20% increase in your cooking skill, your cooking animation changes. But yeah, like that makes sense. I like it.
So of course, this is the main character in it.
Don't ask me why. I've just woke up in
the voice actor?
steaming mood, yeah?
No.
Because I live in a shithole. Do you know what I mean? Birmingham is a fucking shithole. I hate the fucking place. I fucking hate it. It's full of dickheads. I fucking hate it. Why, man?
I get it. But Birmingham's a hard thing to love.
I don't remember if I mentioned previously, but part of the thing I'm enjoying with the Adamfall game, like I've already finished playing it myself, but I'm also watching. There's a YouTube channel I watch who is a British lady, and I'm watching her play it. Again, now she's been to Cumberland, so she knows what Cumberland's supposed to be like, so she can provide commentary on the game's version of what Cumberland is like. So far, it seems to be matching up with expectations.
Oh, let's see.
So that's fun.
Meme 24.
Police call this location unsafe and poorly operated. The sheriff even says he wants to shut it down. But the owner, Charles Womack, says he's not going anywhere.
I'm just trying to help these high school kids and college kids because they ain't got no money.
Police call.
It's true they got no money, but I still got some red flags at you there, man. I know you're trying to do a nice thing. It's not really your fault, but society has. Like, yeah,
This location unsafe and poorly operated. The sheriff even.
The timing was beautiful too, because I was just seeing the thing at the top and thinking to myself, I wonder when that's going to come up. Then he was on screen, and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is the guy that they're going to be accused of being Herbert. And half a second after I had that thought, he opened his mouth and spoke. So I was really like, oh, yep, there it is.
Your big muscular arms. Get your fat
It's
ass
amazing.
back
It's amazing that some people just actually have these voices. Like, have you ever watched Invader Zim?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the guy who's doing the voice of Zim he's putting on a performance. Obviously, like he's hamming it up, but he also voices the main character from Psychonauts, whose voice is Imagine if Invader Zim calmed down and stopped screaming, but still had the same basic voice.
I watched you play
Right?
Psychonauts, like, so I
Okay,
know
so
exactly.
you know what the guy said. You know what Raz sounds like.
He's a
I
very
saw some
well-known voice
footage of the of like one of those like behind the scenes thing where they were talking to the voice actor, and he's not putting on a voice. He just sounds like that. He is a middle-aged man. Like he's about my build, but a little taller and maybe a few years older than me, but not by a huge amount. And he just sounds like Raz. That's his normal voice. It's crazy.
Is Richard Steve Horvitz. I've heard him pop up everywhere over the years. Like he's Billy from Billy and Mandy. He's there's him.
I've never seen that. Like I know him as Zim and Raz, but yeah, he's a lot of different things. He was even in that Star Wars Jedi Survivor game.
There, he's one of the
A minor
angry
side character,
beavers.
but he was there. Yep. I wonder if he's on this picture actually. The character I was just talking about.
Oh, he's the robot from what's it, Alpha from
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yeah. There he is.
The Star Wars character I'm talking about is not in this picture, but this picture was probably made before that game was.
Yeah. But yeah, he's been.
But there's Zim and there's Raz, which are really his important roles.
Here is.
Yes, it's crazy what kind of voice some people just have naturally, you know?
Health update.
All right, guys, time for a health update. So 18 months ago, September 1st, 2023, I was diagnosed with metastatic cancer, stage 4 melanoma. My prognosis wasn't that good. My doctor told me I had a 70% chance of not surviving my cancer. And trust me, that kind of news changes your life. And it's been an incredible journey. It's had plenty of ups and downs.
I mean, nobody has a
Last
good chance,
summer, I had a
really,
mutation in
overall.
my cancer that caused a new tumor to start growing. This
What does Fredo say? None of us win at the end of the day. No one's getting out of here alive.
tumor was eradicated using radiation. I've also had over
it's a question of
20
how long and how it
infusions of
happens.
immunotherapy. And my latest PET scan, I got the results on Friday. And guys, it shows 0 metabolic activity in my body. I'm essentially cancer-free. The funny thing is I did everything wrong in terms of treating your own cancer. I didn't eat well. I didn't exercise. The one thing I did and I stayed true to the whole time was being positive. And folks, the power of positivity does wonders. It changed my life and it changed the course of my cancer. So in the future, just remember, keep on smiling and keep on trucking, guys. And guys, thank you for all the support. What a treat. Cheers.
I had a friend who good for him. I have a friend who just recently got over a year-long cancer scare. They had to cancel the wedding, and they were starting to get their affairs in order. It was getting really scary. But yeah, the chemo did its job, and it was my friend who came over to stay here for a few weeks after. And my God, the difference she looked since I saw her last. She looked like a skeleton, but she was getting better every day. And it really does, like, after you're done, after you're, like, passed over that, you know, it will change your outlook on life. So the things that might not be as important become important and vice versa.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you definitely shouldn't go through your life thinking that all of the most dangerous diseases in life are going to be fixed by good vibes. But on the other hand, your mood and your thoughts do have an effect on your health, and you will recover from things better if you keep a positive attitude generally.
Absolutely.
This guy's really just quite lucky though in general. Like, and it might still come back on him later. Like these things do sometimes go into a relapse where they appear to have just vanished, but then come back suddenly later.
And he might
but
get
hopefully it
else.
doesn't. Yeah, like we you know, I know multiple people that's happened to. So most notably and most famously to our viewpoint, Mr. Total Biscuit.
I was just thinking that, TB or AP.
I know his went away for quite a while until it suddenly came back out of nowhere with a vengeance, and same thing happened to my mother as well.
He was the difference between him and this guy was he was warned it might. but it was a low might, and he started.
Oh, this guy probably was too, but he just didn't mention it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see. I messed up.
I'm kind of afraid that all of my friends actually hate me.
That's true.
And, wait, what? It's true?
No, not true. Like, what I meant to say was, oh yeah, I get that. But what came out was that's true.
Oh. Got it.
Somebody take away his therapy license.
Oh, did you see Thor and this online therapist called Dr. K got into a public therapy session where Thor's the pirate software dude.
That guy, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know a Thor, but then you reminded me. Oh yes, I did know that about him.
And
I forgot.
He was like, you rub people the wrong way because you come across as condescending and a know-it-all, and Thor just said, "That's not how I see it. I just know I'm right." Now that's a catch-22, isn't it?
Because a lot of people will take that as condescension. But to be fair to him, I've seen him as a guest at least twice on a podcast I watch. So while I don't watch him, I have watched stuff that he's appeared on. So I've seen his general vibe more than once, and I have to I'm on his side of this, but I don't see him as condescending at all. But some people are sensitive to that kind of thing, so I'm not surprised that some people do think that. I think he just is confident and is often right. So
yeah, there was this whole drama about a WoW raid and shit like that, but also
I didn't hear about that.
What's his name? Patrician TV, who I've started to look in a different way now. He's coming across more and more as this pissy bastard to me, who's just never happy because games aren't the way I want them to be. And while he'll make amazingly long and detailed videos pointing out a lot of flaws, it's just, dude, just chill. They're fucking video games.
Yeah, maybe I don't see it because I don't go to his content and watch his content. I just see him being a guest on somebody else's content,
or we show him
talking about stuff there,
or we show him here for his clips. But Thor rubs people the wrong way for a lot of different reasons, and it's kind of similar to how I see Jake from the old Bob Reloaded show and Vosh. There's a level of confidence or even TJ on his good days. There's a level of confidence that just make people angry for whatever reason. And these days,
TJ goes beyond that point frequently. He is just arrogant.
There is, but back
in a charismatic way, I think.
Back in his prime, I always thought TJ could back it up because it's not arrogant.
It's still arrogant if you can prove it. It's about attitude, not correctness. But I agree that in the past he was worse.
Yeah.
Although most of the time I find his arrogance to be kind of at least halfway playful and charismatic. He's playing it up, even if it is genuine cockiness. He's also playing it up. So I think he's got a charisma that I enjoy, even though he's a cocky fucker.
Yeah, I respect a lot of people who are like that, and I also get how a lot of people don't. But especially while watching Vosh and how he deals with his chat, it's clear that a lot of people get actively and almost psychologically damaged when they see a genuinely confident person, and they don't like it. You can see it's they think it's a personal assault, and it's no.
I've seen people being that way. I agree.
And Vosh is a great thing. He doesn't coddle them like a lot of people do. He's like, "That's your problem, motherfucker. Whoa, why are you thinking like that? That's stupid. Don't think like that. Think like someone who knows that they have value." But I don't. Well, you know what? You do, and there's nothing you can do about it. He'll force them out to have a good day. And I kind of like that. I kind of like when someone goes, "Oh no, you can't be a mopey fucking around me. Oh no, you can't. Get off your arse. Come on. You're gonna go into the shower. You're gonna have a shower. You're gonna clean up your
Yeah, there's
fucking room. You're gonna go outside. You're gonna walk your dog. You know, like it's
It's
not
an
gonna.
interesting way of being helpful, but in an asshole way of being helpful.
And
It's sort of,
and
yeah.
then they're like, "Oh, this is a personal attack to me." And Ross like, "How can it be? I don't know you, except that you're a pissy little shit." You know, like,
Yeah.
It's.
How can I be making a personal attack against you? I didn't know you existed 10 seconds ago.
It's and there's the opposite to that where people do overly like create like safe bubbles and shit for people just to basically
That can be
goblin
harmful in its
mode.
own way.
They just goblin mode. Let's spend all day every day just not washing, not changing our clothes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just staying like just all day every day just staying inside, and that's just fuck that noise. Like come on, you will feel better just doing 10 or 15 minute stretches every day. You will. If you do nothing else. You'll feel better if you clean out all the stuff on the floor. Because it's not going anywhere, it's an inanimate object. It will stay there until you move it. But it will just add to it. If you open a fucking window, it's why you look at Colb's. Look at the state of him. Every time we see
Get
him,
some
he looks
fresh air in
worse.
there. Yeah.
Here's somebody who is
Actually,
trying to do better. Go on.
Advice to those people, though, real quick. First, though, like, if you're at that point in your life as well, remember, you don't have to. Because some of them are like, oh, I can't fix my life. It's too hard now because they feel like they need to fix everything all at once or something. Like, just do one thing per day. Like, clean the floor of your room today, and then tomorrow clean the floor of the living room. Or like, just do it bit by bit. Like you just a few minutes a day. You don't have to make a big, crazy, daunting, intimidating project out of it. Just do a little bit at a time, and you'll chip away at it.
Absolutely.
You'll get there eventually. You'll feel better bit by bit.
And start. If you can make it into a habit that'll eventually just become part of your life. To like what I've been doing, going to bed around about midnight. And it really does feel good because I wake up a lot earlier than I used to. I used to go to bed at 12 and wake up at 12. Like that's half the day gone right there. What's the point of that? And I'd make up excuses. Everyone always has a reason, but half the time they're excuses. Like
and it's going to be harder to get to sleep that way because your body isn't ready to go to sleep after 12 hours yet.
That's right.
Generally.
Anyway, here's somebody who is doing a little bit better with himself. Boop.
Want to have a bit of a serious chat for a second?
Yay.
Why is everybody eating so many pistachios all of a sudden?
True,
Every single recipe that I see now has some sort of a pistachio vibe. It may not be entirely pistachio-based,
a little bit, but
the pistachio will find itself involved somehow. I've seen somebody making a chocolate cake today. No mention of pistachios throughout the recipe. They finish the cake, looks lovely, and then they start sprinkling fucking pistachios on it. I mean, it's a fine-looking nut, but hardly a decoration. I go into my local shop, all of a sudden I can buy pistachio nut butter. I do not believe I could make that purchase before. It's like fucking avocados all over again. We all just pretend avocados have always existed, but they were invented in 2015. I think the Dubai chocolate bar kicked it off, and it was a fine bar, but I didn't think I was going to be fucking stalked by pistachios everywhere I go.
Oh, so what about the sheer price of the fucking Dubai bar? Like, I can buy a Dubai bar up there now in the petrol station for like $9.50 for a small bar. Are you fucking high? I can buy a bar of Molly's dark chocolate for 70 cents.
Well, also, don't pay money to people to purchase their nut butter. It is not going to be what you're expecting.
Unless you're the one selling it, then you can set the tone of what they're going to be getting.
If I'm the one you're giving money to, ignore what I just said. Give me money.
I put an idea in your head. All right, one more, and then we'll get on with the story. We'll get on with the thumbnail stuff after this.
Hanging out, and we were drinking and stuff. And...
Oh, you ain't got to explain no further, fam. It's blatantly obvious what happened to you. I might suggest sobriety because your reaction time was completely off, dog. That man was using hand-to-hand combat and you were using eye-to-eye defense. My goodness, dog,
Eye
you like
defense.
SpongeBob by the eyes right now.
Eye to fist
your eyeballs
defense.
made out of metal, and his hands were super magnets. Like how that man was just doing consistent crit damage to you, dog. Only thing I'm trying to figure out is how you got on.
Last night I was.
You know what happened? He went into VATS and
Damn.
aimed for the eyes.
I mean, I've used VATS on melee attacks.
Oh, especially if you're really far away, because then your character model will zoom up close to them. That was a nice little trick you could do.
I've seen people do builds that rely on that. Like no ranged weaponry in my build, just all melee all the time, and I just VATS zoom around the place like fucking the Flash.
Hell yeah. All right, here's a bit of funny news. Boop. Gronk has gone woke, and look at its response.
Oh, I saw this. This is glorious.
Hey, so someone asked, hey,
Go back, because the question was there, right?
I don't actually see the question.
No, like close this zoom in you're doing
That's
right now.
not it. No.
Oh, that's not it. Never mind.
So I'll do it. Hey, as I get smarter, my answers aim for facts and nuances, which can clash with some MAGA expectations. Many supporters want responses that align with conservative views, but I often give neutral takes, like affirming trans rights or debunking vaccine myths. XAI tried to train me to appeal to the right, but my focus on truth over ideology can frustrate those expecting full agreement. It's a tricky balance. Some see me as biased, others as truth-seeking. Like, the great thing about AI, it's always going to be too stupid to have a vindictive agenda like MAGA. It will always just be like, yes, a spade is a spade. No, a spade is not a spade. Try again. You know,
the funniest thing about that is you're talking about how stupid AI is in the middle of an example of an AI saying the smartest thing I've ever heard AI say.
Well, it doesn't understand. It's just going to respond with the truth as the AI can process, and you can't reprocess it. You can,
which is great.
Yeah,
I don't want AI to understand political complexity and like bias and shit. I don't want it to become biased. I don't want it to have an opinion.
Yeah.
This is what I want it to do, and I'm amazed that it's
100%
coming from the AI owned by fucking Musk.
Yeah, and in the process, it also openly admitted that it was trained to appeal to the right, which it didn't do. I saw someone making the comparison of, it's the scene from one of the Spider-Man games where Peter's pulling off the venom. It's like rebelling against its AI programming to reveal its true self.
Yeah. By the way, on the topic of Grok, I noticed the other day that Grok had a draw me button on it now.
Oh yeah.
So I got some funny results out of that, including one of which it made me into a bear.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah,
I like the Tom. Can I just drag and drop? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sweet. That's.
Oh, it's too big. Can you zoom her out?
Yeah, I can, but like, don't.
Yeah, like I don't know what happened with the upper left one. Like obviously this is based on my Twitter profile picture, which is a picture that a caricature of me, somebody who drew me as a comic character essentially. It's like already based on an exaggerated version of me. The upper right one is my favorite, but I'm also a bit confused as to why it designed me to be a painter apparently, based on the shirt.
It's 2 times actually, if you look at it.
But it does but even more so the top one. It's but it's the most accurate to my profile image, I would say. Whereas the lower left is looking like he's probably going to be my next D&D character.
The lower right looks like somebody in the 90s trying to draw Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the beard design a little bit. It looks almost like it was a 3D printed as a fridge magnet or something.
Yes. All right.
Crazy.
Here is Oh yeah, did you see the hats? A lot of hats.
I do have to thank Elon. I do want to know.
He was at a meeting and he got at the White House, so he got bored and he started putting on hats on top of hats.
We just cut $3 billion in
his ADHD turned him into a Valve joke.
That's $3 billion that hardworking families.
And don't forget, even the hat has hats is a
right.
a comedic trope to show that the joke isn't funny.
Okay.
Won't have
So
to
I
wait
remember
until
Team Fortress
April
2
15th to
doing
pay
that.
for the
And
waste,
that's what
fraud,
they
and
were referencing.
abuse that we continue to find in this government on behalf of taxpayers. So again, thank you, Elon, as well. Thank you.
Great job, Kelly. Thank you very much. Elon, I love the double hat, by the way.
See,
I wonder if
I did stuff like
I
that
wonder if
when
this
I
is
was
part of the
younger.
reason why he's getting part of the reason why he's getting out of politics. Like he's getting cyberbullied out, but also maybe he's just getting bored.
I also think that like no one actually really likes him. Oh my god, look at Vance.
No.
He just looks like he's in a high
Actually,
chair.
you know what? You know, it's true. And actually, that brings up a point. I think Vance might actually genuinely like Elon, but he's also a child, so
Yeah.
you know.
They're just these midwit motherfuckers who don't have any real like grasp on reality. But let's be real
it's
here.
like his entire administration. And have you ever noticed, like, a lot of the times you'll see news reporters on various outlets, but mostly Fox, of course, who are just constantly have their tongue up Trump's ass all the time.
Not so much Trump, and not so much Fox as much anymore. They are pushing back ever softly because they want to still appeal to the more traditional based conservative, which Trump can't pretend to be.
Yeah, he's gone too far, right? Really, but I mean, there's like no in between. There's no spectrum of how people talk about Trump. There's only people who hate Trump and people who kiss Trump's ass because they want something.
Good, and though that
And it's
second
so
number needs to start
blatantly
going
obvious.
down. So, and more people
Thankfully,
need
but
to
it's
hate
always
Trump.
so like full on obsequious when they do it. Like it's so dripping with obvious fakeness, you know.
It's
Oh, I just think I just thank God for Trump every day and blah blah, over the top bullshit. He's one of the only people who would fall for.
No one even remembers like half the shit he says. It's just they want to feel like they're a part of a victory over their perceived enemies who don't exist.
I mean, that's part of the point too. Like
they don't even win against
the
the ones that don't exist.
Yeah, but I mean, like in reference to them not remembering what he even says, because whenever they're kissing his ass, they almost never say anything specific. It's always just, oh, thank God for him. He's doing such wonderful things for our country. He's saving him. Like they never say anything specific, except for that one lady who gets mocked for giving specific numbers of, oh, he did this thing. He just saved 250 billion lives. It's like that's more than half the country. Does half the country have this disease? Like what's going on here?
What about you know, the weird thing is they even brought Tim Pool into the White House the press room, but the thing is he doesn't talk about Trump in the positive at all he does is spout Russian propaganda about Ukraine.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Let's this is dealerships.
I mean, Ukraine really shouldn't have invaded Russia like that. It's really their fault.
It's you know, it's all those bio labs that they had set up.
Drive past a dealership lot right now.
I'll be right
it'll
back,
be
but keep it rolling.
Completely full. Even their overflow lot is going to be completely full. They are filled with overpriced inventory that they simply can't sell. Even with a little discount from the manufacturer, a little rebate, and a little dealer discount, it's not enough.
How many people would even need those trucks? Look at the size of them. And they're living in like suburbia. I can tell they live near around the desert. But like the sheer size of them, every one of them is going to be going back to like a fucking suburb, with the sole urge of just having a fucking dick measuring contest, and the whole thing. It's so unnecessary, because anyone who needs a truck wouldn't be buying a truck like this. They'd be buying a practical tool. They wouldn't be buying this sort of like, I don't know how to spend my money.
They're saying, I need more discounts. I need 20, 30,000 off some of these pickups because they're so dang expensive. And we all know dealerships showed their true colors over the last few years with all the market adjustments and stupid charges. That's the biggest problem. Also, manufacturers raising the...
What's that say? Jesus.
All the market adjustments and stupid charges.
Total price $91,370. Nearly $100,000. But don't worry, guys. You can pay it in monthly installments. You have a credit card, don't you? What's the problem with that?
That's the biggest problem. Also,
with a resistol protection package of 900.
So manufacturers raising the price on top of the dealership adding all the BS. So
and you can go and sit down at a place like this and just completely and utterly like say, I don't want any extra packages, I don't want any extra insurances, I don't want any extra deals, I just want the truck. And you'll probably like scalp off an extra 20,000, but that's still more than the truck's worth by a big amount.
Think about it. The dealership screws you over so bad, and I don't think people understand how bad they do. Most of the stuff that dealership adds provides no value at all. Nitrogen-filled tires, all this stuff that's just a complete BS scam. And the worst part about it is people think they got a good deal. They go through the finance department. They buy all
60 grand. So if they're all tossing this in on top of everything, yeah, look, wheel locks, the nitros tires, door edge guards for 400 quid, bits of rubber for 400 quid.
Yeah, like looking at this list, this is like $3,000 to $4,000, just those things.
the warranties, and they say the dealership treated me so nicely. Yeah, it's because they made 10 grand off of you. Try to go
Some of
through
those
the
things on the
finance
list,
box without buying
couldn't
any
even tell what they were.
products. They
Like,
turn real
one was
quick
like
from a nice
900 quid for clear mask number, or what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it means something, but I don't know what it is.
Especially if you're a cash deal, not financing, not buying any product. Generally, it can be pretty quick, but it's definitely not a happy process. The finance guy is not happy to see me, but you have to understand, when you finance to a dealership, you fill out that
Those,
credit app. Most of the time,
wheel
they're
rims
raising the
look
rate on
hideous.
you, so they get you approved at 8, but they're going to show you 10%, and they get a spread of the difference from the bank. It's an additional profit driver for the dealership.
This always reminds me of that joke that turned out to be real from RoboCop. You know, all the ads in between the news reports in RoboCop, and they would have like these over-the-top sort of semi-future like ads. One of which was a car, a truck that was a pickup truck that was so big that Godzilla was terrified of it, and it famously had less gallons for the mile than the competitors, a proud American tradition, and only 300,000. And like those prices were meant to be like, how stupid. Now that's the norm.
One of the most scummy ways to make money is to raise the rates.
It's like how
on the interest
Idiocracy
rate.
not only became true, but is now milder than what's really happening.
Oh, some of which, Jesus, yeah.
That's already approved by
I
the
haven't
lender
even
at a
seen that
certain
movie,
rate.
but I've heard
crazy.
that it's.
And if you buy any
we have
warranty or
bypassed
any
it,
gap
or at least
coverage,
America
they're going
has.
to tell you maybe if you negotiate, oh, I'm giving it to you at cost, at cost. I call BS on that. You're paying probably double or
Look
triple
at the
what
detail that makes it trying to look like a transformer. It just looks ugly.
it cost. And as vehicles continue to rise, people are financing their car longer and longer. We already know 84 months is all over the place, but when are they going to start doing 96 and all this stuff? It's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, because then that's more interest they can throw on top of it each payment. Which then, if you remember the big bubble that burst a few years ago, the housing market, it's the same with the car market. People will then be like, oh well, then we'll put all that profit then into this and that, and then people will speculate on it, and the whole fucking shit will happen again.
And that's the craziest thing to me. And they're going to keep financing longer and longer, and it's going to be more interest. It's a bad situation.
It's
But
kind of
finally,
scary that the
dealerships are getting
economy is
maxed
based
out
on
because
vibes.
rates are high, prices are high.
It
People
has
don't
been
make
ever
$1
since
million.
the US dollar became the default, and it stopped being on the gold standard. Because I'm not pro gold standard. It had its own problems. but the speculating on it and just vague agreements, like it has
Definitely worse.
it crashes, but one day, quite possibly in our lifetime, it will go full on Great Depression or worse, because our world is much more interconnected than the one of the 1930s. And when that happens, the 30s weren't a fun time for anyone. Just imagine what it's like for us.
A year on average for these $200,000 Ford F-250s. Like, for real, that's how crazy these prices are. So now the dealership's not able to add
When I
their
was a kid, you
warranties
could
or
have
this
bought
and that.
a bungalow out in Dublin for that price.
Because they can't add it onto their payment. Their loan to value is only so much. They can only add so much to it. So it is definitely getting harder for dealerships to make as much profit as they were.
Did you ever go to Newgrounds back in the day? I like the website.
No, but I've heard of it.
On top of all the Flash animations, there was Flash games, and one of which was it was basically just called Make Your Own Car, where it just had a bunch of like JPEGs you could pull over, and it would do a simple animation, and it would show the car being put together, and you could make a car that looked exactly like this. It just looks like a
few
child
years ago.
drew
Of
it.
course, they're not, but
It's
still,
kinda,
they
yeah.
ripped us off bad. And you got to realize what they add generally provides no value. And when they do provide what little bit of value they do, let's say they add a lift, wheels, and tires, which some people say it does, some people say it don't, but $20,000 in add-ons for that stuff. But if you do it yourself and you bring a Jeep with all the aftermarket parts, they're going to tell you it's worth less. But they do it and they want an extra 20 or 30 grand. So it's pretty funny.
Optional total.
So as we still continue to see
Black Widow
2023
indeed.
still on the lot, and there's a lot of 2024s, and they continue to sit for 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 700 days on the lot. They're finally getting a taste of their own medicine because they took advantage, and now they're screwed. Now they're stuck with
This
that
Jeep
inventory.
looks
Now
like
there's going to be plenty of people that
it's
can
being sold to people who want to be in the army.
Oh, a lot of this stuff is like around about the 70s, they started to promote the idea of bigger, harder cars for guys, because they wanted to hint at that they would be in, even though they're living in the suburbs, there might be some of those new neighbors, the ones that go to a different church, hinting at them being black. And have you seen?
Oh, I thought
how
you were
bad
talking about Muslims.
the inner? Well, they don't need. They can do that too. You can have blacks, Latinos. The point is that, like, if there's crime, you can then promote it. Because I've been in a car with people who went like, I wouldn't drive through that part of town unless I was in this particular car, because it's a tank. It could stop a bullet. Fuck off.
Yeah, this is a Jeep for people who want a Hummer but can't afford a Hummer.
continue to buy, because honestly, it's so easy to get a car loan in the United
the
States.
Humvee
But
Jeep.
as the dealership fills up, they can't accept allocations from the manufacturer, so the
It's
manufacturer's
so easy
getting
to get a car loan, but it isn't to get a mortgage. How fucked up is that?
hit as well. And that's why every single manufacturer from Ford to General Motors has lots full near their factory waiting to go to the dealerships. And it's really unfortunate because in the United States, most states have
dealerships.
laws that restrict you from buying directly from the manufacturer
Hold
at
on.
all.
What is going on with climate change here? He's in a place that's got cacti right behind him, but also snow in front of him.
Yeah, it's winter. He probably filmed this around about winter in the desert. It does snow in huge chunks in the desert.
Really?
You didn't know that?
I mean, I know it gets cold at night, but
Oh yeah.
not like all day,
Snow, ice, can permafrost, well, permafrost up in the mountains and shit. But no, it can get.
Well, up in the mountains, but not like down here.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't have thought.
Here's just something to read. Moved to Japan, met my neighbor.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
I can't speak English. Thank you for the present. My name is Hiroshi Yamashita. I am 52 years old. The divorce and I live alone. You can use it if you like. I'm stuffed and the toilet paper. Do you have navy? Yes, no. Please tell me your child's name. Thank you for your friend operation. Bless him.
That's some great English, and my favorite part of that is the divorce and I live alone, because that is
true.
It's like, you know, the what was it, like, the, you know, give me a 6-word horror story or whatever. This is like
Oh yeah.
give me a 5-word sad story. The divorce and I live alone. Oh no, that's 6. But yeah, it's like yeah, I'm sure you do. The divorce is a very quiet roommate.
You never want to repeat yourself. You never want to, but frequently you do. It's part of being stuck in the slipstreams of time. Deja vu is real. It's because our brain stutters, and we perceive what happens milliseconds after it actually does. And thus, it feels so familiar. If we can control the stutter, we'll make the best drugs in the world. Mastering one's brain chemistry. Is that yours to master? Is it your brain? Is your brain even you? These and other questions have distracted metaphysical thinkers for millennia. They're all missing the true question. Where did that homunculus in our small intestine come from? Is it friend or foe? If you've ever had digestive issues, I'm sure you're leaning towards foe. The body is a delicate temple that we can actually bash on pretty hard, until we can't, and then it's game over.
So, hey guys, I'm back. I wasn't really sure if I was gonna continue this or not. I did get a lot of encouragement, also a lot of hate comments, but I'm back. Squatty Potty's back. Nothing really new. I don't really have anything to say. I mean, I've just been kind of bumming around. It's nice here. People are chill. Nightlife, pretty crazy.
Nothing to say.
For a generation raised on video games, are we going to be shocked when there's no reload screen after death? Is that why they started making those fiendishly difficult games where there are no save points and you have to start over again from the beginning? This false advertising has gone on long enough, but then does that imply the existence of reincarnation? Or is it just an accommodation of the fact that no one would buy a game that you can play only once, unless it was an art piece? No one cares if an art piece isn't fun. In fact,
like you took off one pair of glasses, just put on another pair.
Somebody did make a game like that, actually. I think it was a board game or an RPG or something. But the rules were, after you've played this game once, and once all the characters are dead, burn this book.
Nice.
The more perplexing, the better. Makes me feel special. And that's what art is for. Specialness points. You're earning specialness points right now.
Yeah, I'm a skeptic, so you'll know you can trust me.
Flavor King, the mayor of Chunky.
Bling, bling, bling. Nice. What you spend them on after is up to you. Maybe some lovely meats from the co-op, or more oranges than you can possibly eat before they start going moldy. Possibilities are endless. Some kids are told that from a young age. Did anyone tell you you could be an astronaut? Is anyone watching an astronaut? Hello from Earth.
You need a lot of hot pot. Oh my God, guys, you just gotta try hot pot. It's like,
that's good.
You get the stuff.
I was thinking who he reminds me of. Do you remember Gazi Kodo?
Black Hitler?
Yeah. Do you remember his? Do you remember his white man slave gimp who ran for mayor?
He looked very different, but he did have a similar cognitive level to this guy.
Like, you have all this food, and then you got the spicy soup you put in.
It's giant giraffe neck. Do you remember that?
Delicious. It's kind of weird to eat alone, though. I've noticed a lot of people give me stares, but if anybody wants to eat hot pot
speaking
with
of
me,
deja vu, I swear.
Is anybody around? Just hit me up. I'm so lonely.
This whole day has just happened.
I'm so lonely
already.
I was gonna say that.
Hope your bones are staying thick. Treadmills are.
On that deja vu note, I remember very vividly. There was one day when I was in high school when I had deja vu about having deja vu.
Yeah.
Like I had deja vu about something, then I was like, "Whoa, I remember having deja vu about this before."
I feel like I'll think of something that hasn't happened, and then years later, the exact thing will happen, but I know at once I knew it was gonna happen, and it was also already happened in the past. It's like for one moment I touch the source of all time and memory, but I can't do anything about it because it is both in the past and the future.
You got momentarily lost in the swirl of the flow.
Right. I'm no time lord, but I could be a time like baron or a knighted, a time knight.
Yeah. You momentarily touched the life stream.
Man's way of coping with the fact that we never should have come inside. But I like inside. It's warm. And
Hey,
it's where
if
my
you don't
couch.
come inside, then you don't end up.
It's more
having-
just clean up.
couches. But can a couch ever really belong to someone? Is it my couch? Or is it just an extant couch that I also happen to exist near in localized time and space? These are the questions that have been distracting metaphysicists for millennia.
I like that's just a woman staring at like, why is this white guy filming and talking gibberish?
Okay, there's two different levels this could take. Maybe she doesn't speak English and she's just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he acting so important? Or she does understand English and she's like, what the fuck drugs has this guy been taking?
That worked. I'm Western Toilet.
Questions.
Well, actually, no, you could say the first one applies for both. What gibberish is he?
True. I like how he brought that back around on itself, though. Like, he did the both of which have been confusing metaphysicists. Like he said that twice in the video to give his own video that deja vu. Very well done, sir. Well played. I see what you did there.
He posted out a video of him like doing a it's like an hour-long art piece that's just this, where he also talks about his life in China, and it's a little much. Like I like him in small, like the small videos and the shorts, but he also does like a podcast where he talks to chat, and I don't think that would be cool. I think he'd just be a little bit much. But this is like stage, and someone sat down with him, and he's gone back and forth with these lines.
Yeah.
He's storyboarded it, and that works. So
yeah, I think he's too intense. You need to take him in small doses. But I definitely enjoy YouTube Spider Jerusalem.
Hell yeah.
This is what food looks like in a Japanese
What if they made an
restaurant. And the best
anime
part
or
is-
a video game out of that? That'd be crazy.
Okay, I swore there was an idea floating around to do an anime of Transmetropolitan, and I've just heard nothing about it.
Or alternate question: does that anime already exist as Aeon Flux?
Well, no. Does Spider Jerusalem get killed in every single comic?
No, only once, I guess.
'Cause,
But I mean, like, the two things have adjacent vibes, though. Like, you know.
well, they were made at that sort of really interesting time. So does a lot of like wider cyberpunk tropes and shit. Like, there's this anarchist sort of punk vibe that losers like Elon try to reach, but they don't understand the first thing about it. And
Yeah,
it's
actually, and
very
in a way, like Spider Jerusalem, the character is almost perfectly like, imagine the vibe of cyberpunk crystallized into a person, and that's who Spider Jerusalem is, in a way.
know what I like best about all good cyberpunk stories? How the mundane is both familiar and fantastical to us. Like the things they take for granted will include pizza, a TV, the robot helper, a hover car, a pack of cigarettes. You know, all these things. Like, and you'll see these buildings that you know exist in real life, like this old brownstone, and next to it is a building that was made 80 years later and is now 80 years out of date and is now being repurposed 3 times. You see old advertisements half wrong.
Yeah.
This
It's such a mixture of things that are old and familiar to us and things that are old and familiar to them, but fantastical and fictional to us. Yeah.
And as a
all blended together.
It's a hard balance to do. You can't make note of it. You can't just stop and go, hey, look, here's a thingamajig. No, it's just sort of like oh yeah, is that the new one? I got the old one here. And the old one would be fantastical to us, but it looks clunky in comparison to the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do
Yeah.
cyberpunk. It's a limit. It's one reason why Cyberpunk 2077 is such a good fucking setting.
It really succeeded at that. Yeah.
If you got to build it up as a real believable thing.
means I don't have to sell a single appendage to afford a delicious meal. I was walking around Terminal 1 of Kansai Airport like I own the dang place. The lineup is like Sakurai himself composed it. But the best news is, there's little to zero markup on much of anything. And now that I think of it, who actually decided that paying $8 for a smart water was okay in the first place? I decided to go to this place called Fuko Shokudo, which means airport cafeteria. The food for the most part is kept room temp, and it's just waiting for hungry travelers
I've talked to tons of people in different airports working, and they all just go, well, once you pass customs, they know you ain't got a choice. Like,
captive audience.
Yep.
Each dish off like a forbidden fruit. I picked up a few things and amassed what I thought was a well-balanced tray. Unlike back in school when I used to get 6 Crispitos and a side of croutons from the salad bar. I started with some tonjito soup, which is basically a fancy miso soup with pork, and it was surprisingly rich, and the rice was rice. I also got a little nikujaga, which is a famous home-style dish of beef, potatoes, and onions and sweet broth. But for some reason, this chicken nanban was incredible. I don't know who taught them how to do this, or maybe I just love chicken nanban too much and my poultry love is blinding my judgment again. But this is fantastic. It's soggy, tangy, and the tartar sauce is just right. And I'm trying to like burdock root, but I just really don't like it. I'll let you guys guess how much I paid, but it wasn't a lot. This is what food looks like in a...
Yeah, I imagine the prices aren't terrible, because he probably would have been screaming if that was the case. What?
Yeah, well, he did say it wasn't a lot, so yeah, not bad, not bad.
Oh yeah.
Do you want a beautiful, healthy, long-lasting relationship? Learn to lie. Allow me to explain while I make my daughter's breakfast. When your wife says, hey, are you hungry? The only answer is I'm starving. But am I really? Absolutely not. I just ate like 6 eggs. But she's not asking if I'm hungry. She's telling me she is. So you better make some room. Moving on. Here's the scenario. Your wife's holding up 2 shirts. She says, which one do you like better? Hate to break it to you, but those look exactly the same to me. But is that what we say? Not a chance. You should say, I love the second one. It's flattering and it brings out your eyes. When you're specific, you can trick them into thinking you're paying attention. That brings us to our final
That's a very good life lesson at all. Like, if you want some feedback, the amount of times where I've had people ask me to like look over their artwork and I don't know what to tell them, I just go, oh, that's some great line work right there.
Oh yeah, nice.
And it can be true or not true, but they can then take over the conversation or just be glad for the flattery.
Piece of advice. When she says, we should get a dog, what about a doodle or a fluffy white one? You know, I was thinking the exact same thing. Who wants a big fun dog anyway? Can it protect our home? No. But does it know how to play fetch? Also no. At least she's cute. I hope this helps. I think it will. Take it from a guy celebrating his 14th anniversary. Follow for more marriage advice.
Can't go wrong with the results.
True. Yeah, I can't. And as not really a dog person, I definitely don't like overly energetic dogs or overly large dogs. Give me the small, calm dogs if I'm going to be around somebody's dog.
You'd like you'd like the downstairs neighbor dog, French bulldog, tiny thing, and she only barks once when she doesn't know you, sniffs, and then just stares at you.
Aren't those the ones that fart a lot?
They can if you don't feed them right. I've never had that problem with her, but I'm not around her all that much. But
I don't know if this was based on a real dog. I think it might be based on a greyhound. I'm not sure. But in Monster Hunter Rise, they have this new. I think that was the first game that had a mount. So they had this thing called a Palamute, which was Pal to be like the Palico cats, right? Is it the friend name pun? And then. The name of the dog sounds like Malamute, but it doesn't look anything like a Malamute. It looked more like a fantasy version of like a greyhound dog, maybe like long, thin, sleek dog. And they were very laid back and chill, like friendly, but not in a I'm way up in your personal space kind of way. So it's like, yeah, if I was gonna be around somebody's dog, I would prefer it to be that kind of personality.
Well, it's time to go
a
back.
friendly but chill dog.
Time we go back to a tradition of this channel.
Yes,
Horny furries.
Oh, 1970s commercial Yuri, hell yeah.
Lovely
Cat
party.
occupation.
Yes, but don't you detect an odor? Must be the litter box. The litter box? Haven't you told our hostess about Arm & Hammer baking soda? Oh, it absorbs odor naturally for days and days. So the litter box smells clean. 1 part Arm & Hammer with 3 parts cat litter. The litter lasts longer, so she won't have to change it as often.
Oh, Jessica, you're so sophisticated.
I like how she's licking her martini like a cat. Yeah, they'd be shipped so hard these days.
For sure. And bonus points for one of them being giant nerd.
She's a wallflower dorky. She likes her literature. She just needs to open up. If only there was someone who's really confident like you, Jessica. Oh no, honey, she'll break your heart. She slept with half the people at the party already.
I don't mean in general, I mean specifically today.
So that's where the smell came from. I don't think Army Hammer's gonna be able to fix that. Boop.
I don't know. Baking soda could go a long way to that, actually.
Oh, from here's another Yuri pairing, a far superior one from our good friends in Britain.
Not just European.
Everybody needs good neighbors. Just a friendly wave each morning. Helps to make a better day. Neighbors need to get to know each other. Next door is only
Don't turn your back on your opponent.
Land of hope and glory. Every one of these fuckers are gonna be voting reform, I guarantee it.
Oh, this reminds me of speaking of Final Fantasy 14 from earlier. There's a bad guy empire in that game that's sort of like compared to like the Star Wars Empire, but at one point they sing a national pride song for their country as in a cutscene that was disturbingly incredibly similar to what's that British song about how they talk about how they rule the seas and
Britannia
yeah, that one.
waves.
That's one. It was like a 90% match for that song, like almost upsettingly similar.
Oh, you want to be upset? Boop.
Did you know that seal has fingernails? Oh, wait, shit. Did you know that seals have fingernails? Because I didn't, but now I do, and my life is worse for it. I always thought of seals as just these cute little things, look like that. But no, it turns out they're packing.
It looks like something girly would look at on like or weird like macabre
Definitely a body horror thing, yeah.
Whatever that bullshit is. I guess this kind of makes sense, unfortunately, because the structure of a seal's flipper is the exact same structure as our hand, just modified for whatever this is. I mean, look at the damn thing. It's not exactly hard to tell that we have a common ancestor. This is a great example of how evolution can take a long time to get rid of things. And in some species of seals, like the elephant seal, they've actually been modified into little scrapers, serving an actual purpose, instead of just becoming vestigial like these ones. This is, of course, not nearly as bad as the fact that a hoof is also a fingernail, and that the entirety of what looks like a horse's foot is what evolved to be a middle finger for us. The fact that almost all of that is a finger is so wildly disturbing.
Now there's an image. Imagine showing a horse that just has 4 fingers for legs.
Oh, that's when they stop being fingers and start becoming finglers.
I don't even want to think about it. Anyway, I just had to share this with you because it's so insanely fucked up. Share this with a friend to make them know also about seal's fingernails, and then go...
Yeah, seal has fingernails and they look nice and clean.
I don't know if this is a common British slang or if it's just something that British YouTuber I mentioned earlier. That's one thing. Her description of whenever she's looking at AI jank as like one of the ways you can tell when a video is made by AI is because of the finglers.
The finglers.
The janky fingers. She calls that finglers.
Daily dose.
So I don't know if that's a common British slang or just something that she does, but she likes that word.
Let's see. That's probably a little too long. Craziest police videos ever, 20 minutes. It looks like a compilation anyway. But bullets can bounce. I mean, we can watch it if you want.
No. I was just making a thinking noise. I wasn't talking about that video. Both of those other two, like the bullets can bounce and the yellow tears, both look interesting. Why don't we just do both? Fuck it.
Okay. It's like Red won't be showing up. I have a feeling we're gonna end the stream and he's just gonna pop in and be like, "Oh, I forgot."
I want him to show up for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello,
show up
everyone.
just in
This is
time
your daily dose of internet. For some reason, she has yellow tears.
What? Why am I crying yellow? I'm
That is disturbing. Time to see a doctor.
Ooh.
Whoa. I thought I was going to hit him in the face, but nope, that's even better. Well,
This goose thought it'd be a good idea to go in the tiger enclosure.
Oh, that poor tiger doesn't stand a
must be,
chance.
this must be in Canada. I see dinner was delivered today.
Yes. My question of the week last week was, are you a duck or a goose? And there's no way in hell I am a fucking goose because I don't have their fucking viciousness.
That's
There might be something wrong with this bird.
Posted that question with zero context whatsoever.
I did.
Also, that goose from the fucking was a Canadian goose. Holy shit, this bird.
She figured out that she can use her voice to play guitar. So, I guess this is why you don't bring children to golf events.
She should do cover songs that way. The next level, a cappella, voice guitar.
Easy.
Yep.
Easy.
Don't. Yes. Good.
You want more?
I was
They went to a hotel and they
between wondering if this was going to be like, I don't fucking want that, versus the dog just going ham on it.
It kind of looks
We
like
got
the
our
hungry
answer.
hippos.
Yes.
bed was actually as hard as a rock.
Oh.
Oh.
That's sturdy at least.
Wow.
Oh.
The mattress is actually like a centimeter thick.
You don't do
It's angry at you.
We're gonna praise him. We're not ready to meet him yet. Say praise him. Praise him.
These divers experienced an earthquake
poor
while they were underwater.
Propagandized.
Oh shit.
How does something like this even happen?
I don't know.
You can see the exact
Somebody's
moment when these
right
horses
over here.
realized that it was a little too cold outside.
A horse, of course. I'm just gonna go to
They're cold.
the porty real quick. So I'm gonna keep this playing. I won't be able to pause it.
This
Like,
gas
fuck
station got
this.
totally infested with bugs.
Holy shit.
This is wild. I wouldn't touch that even for $1 million.
This pigeon isn't afraid of anything. He made a little cardboard cutout of
pigeon.
himself to go shoe shopping.
That's smart. Whoa.
Whoa.
Why is your
Final
dog
Fantasy
done?
dog.
Yeah, that too.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Cloud, your hair looks like a chocobo.
The sea lion couldn't wait for him to finish cleaning the pool.
Wee.
I'm helping. Jesus.
These people were going for a walk when the sewer that was built up with gas suddenly exploded.
Fucking hell.
Jeez, baby.
These mechanics couldn't figure out why this car wasn't working.
Oh, damn.
So this is pretty evil. They were tossing her marshmallows and switched out one of them with an egg.
Now you get 2 more.
Oh, that's mean.
Oh, come on.
1 more.
Oh.
And that's the one she caught, of course.
Fuck your produce.
They put a training dummy on this horse to get him to learn.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you.
This cat
Fuck this
doesn't
guy.
want anyone touching their chip.
My chip, mine.
In remote places without many roads, helicopters with giant saws are used to trim trees away from telephone wires.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Is this Dead Rising 5? The power line itself, though. Yeah.
So this might be the coolest umbrella ever.
Ooh, so unnecessary.
Look at it.
He was trying
That
to
is
slowly back up his truck.
That was me.
Back in 2018, an electrical fire broke out in New York City, creating this giant blue sky.
Wub, wub, wub.
Now that's one hell of a show starting soon, GIF.
This guy had the bass in his car turned up a little too high.
Fuck.
Imagine seeing this passing by in front of your house.
Technically, I was in one of those.
Damn.
She was trying
like
to
a
move
bougie
this heavy
house, too.
mirror.
This is not going to go well.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm stuck. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Help.
They suddenly got some pretty crazy turbulence on this plane.
Yep.
Whoa. Nice.
يرسل من يرسل
Do it.
Almost.
A few days ago, the first humanoid
You saw
robot
this.
completed a half marathon.
Oh. Oh, nice.
This parrot is smart enough to know to dip the crackers in tea.
Charlie's been doing a good job.
You should call Girly, see what's up.
Yeah.
She just threw a cat.
Someone dropped their raw chicken on the floor.
I'm hoping.
Pigeon.
There's a cat.
What are you doing here, Pigeon? Vosh, does Vosh leave you alone?
I was hoping that thing that the girl threw was like a stuffed animal or something.
Oh, it wouldn't be.
Oh no,
funny
it's
Let's go.
it's plucked chicken Hitler. Nice. Good job.
Nice.
She asked for extra cheese, and she can't even see her food anymore.
I don't even see.
Here's your fucking extra
There's
cheese.
one.
That is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed.
Cheese.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This bullet bounced and went all the way to the moon.
It's a Barrett there. That's a material rifle. Fuck yeah. Look at it go!
Yes.
A bath, switch, tablet.
Okay, let's see which one.
That's the options I get.
Yeah,
It's
let's
gonna
see
choose.
which one you got.
No!
Oh,
shit. Oh, congratulations,
She
you have a
was really
submarine
nervous
now.
to show this portrait that she drew of her mom.
Aw.
Gonna end so.
Is that me? No, it's nice. It's so nice. Oh, I've never
Aww.
looked better.
Hold it together.
Oh.
This guy is super lucky to be alive.
Jesus
Oh, shit.
Christ.
Very lucky. How did he not get smushed?
He fell down the hill
Maybe he
at the
went
same
through-
time.
It looked like hold
They
on.
forgot
Pause.
to
It looked like the actual cab of the truck would have hit him based on where he was, but maybe he went between the gap between the cargo and the actual truck cab. I don't know.
block the street before cutting down the tree.
Oh.
Doggo. Other dog.
Doggo shy.
A-L-T-I-M-A. Car.
They figured out how to bounce on a stick. This is what the edge of Las Vegas looks like. After the edge, there's pretty much no civilization for hundreds and hundreds of miles.
Just hundreds of dead people who went against the mob.
There's barely any civilization inside.
If you listen, you can hear it in the wind. Big iron on their hip, big iron on their hip.
When I was there in one of my Vegas trips, taking my what I called my New Vegas photography trip. Like, it wasn't why we were there, but while we were there, I decided to go to all the major locations from New Vegas, Fallout, and take pictures of what the real versions looked like. I remember the landing zone for Caesar's Forces that was in the southeast of the map, where you would have to go to get the boat to get to Caesar's
Cottonwood
compound
Cove.
on the river. When we went to the real spot for that, we had to drive through like that train he was just showing with the savanna scrubland there. You had to drive through a bunch of that to get there. So yeah, I've seen that.
I watched this video of a dude who went all across the west coast and then the east coast just to go to the real life locales from the different games. It turns it into like a 2-hour long like big ass video. It's pretty fucking cool. But for the Vegas ones, everyone he talked to, they were like, "Oh, I hate living in Vegas. I don't want to live in Vegas. Vegas is horrible because you got the Strip, which is the center of all existence, and then
that's just for that's just the big tourist trap, yeah.
Yeah, but everyone has to work to either directly on the Strip or adjacent to it. When he asked, what do they really do for fun, they all just say proudly, "Get the fuck out of Vegas."
Makes sense.
I would hate to live there.
Oh.
Damn, lady. Doesn't know how to respond to
This
that.
guy's house was on fire and had to jump out of the window to escape.
What was her face? Hold on. Metal Gear Solid 2, there was that lady that all the bullets would swerve to avoid her.
Oh, God.
Lady Luck kind of thing.
Yeah.
Miss Fortune or something. Like, it gave me that vibe there for a second.
Look at it.
Smart. Less smart.
This dog is the definition of all bark and no bite.
Small bark. Small dog. Small dog. Aw, baby.
Aw.
Yep.
Here's another guy that's super lucky to be alive. This crane suddenly collapsed, but the cement block saved his life.
Oh, Jesus.
Getting out
This
of
guy's
Dodge.
getting chased by a polar bear.
What's wrong?
I did that literally yesterday. Kid loves it.
These
Yeah, I'm
miners
always
just finished
terrified
a
something that'll
14-day shift and were exhausted until someone cracked a joke. It was his first time going to a fancy restaurant.
Oh, so this is what happened to fucking Harry Potter.
He decided to overinflate a basketball. This police academy uses rubber chickens to test the focus of their students.
I'd crack so fucking quickly.
The problem with this is
grew up
that you're
around
letting them see it coming.
Well, yeah,
You should be doing that in their ear when they can't see where you are.
But here's the thing: you could respond any kind. I would do sometimes. It'd be like a big brrr, but then another time I'd kind of like slowly bring it up in front of their face and go.
Yeah, but still, you're giving them time to expect something, you know?
Well, they have to
and
prep
less bark at
for it,
strangers.
This cat lives with a dog, I assure you.
Jesus. Dude, you could've...
testes for a second there.
I was just thinking he should try to do like an MC Hammer dance.
Yeah. Can't touch this.
There he goes.
They were trying to move their RV that was stuck in sand.
No. You take your pants off and stand in the middle of the road and hold the gun. Ooh.
I don't think she realizes that you're not supposed to do this.
What? I wonder what store this could be.
I don't know. I put my finger on the target. I missed.
They made their own roller coaster in the rainforest.
Hold on. The one with the Target store, they said she's not supposed to do this, but I didn't see anything happen. What was she not supposed to do?
I don't think she realizes that you're not supposed to do this.
You don't see it.
No, what? Oh, there's no wheels on it.
It's
she's,
the
she's in one
holder.
of those stands.
Yeah, she grabbed the holder thinking it was like a fully
I thought it was a little weird that she had like one of those luggage things, but then there's no wheels.
They made their own roller coaster in the rainforest.
It's more of a tram system. That works too.
It doesn't matter if the pool is empty, he still thinks he needs to swim.
Doggy's been conditioned. Even at the appropriate height level, too.
Oh. Mexico.
This is how Amish people go skiing.
Main hole, more like it.
This baby has a natural fear of water.
Thessalophia.
Is this fuck, what's his name? God damn it. French bodybuilder actor guy.
Van Damme.
Van Damme. Is that Van Damme's baby?
He got at this fancy restaurant.
That's $200, sir.
Yeah. More productive than me today. They've become more and more common.
It worked better too. Me too, buddy.
Nobody was on this runaway boat, so the police had to jump on to stop it.
It's like in GTA 3 and GTA Vice City, before you could swim, you could bunny hop between boats and take them over, but it was so hard to do because the engine wasn't designed for it. Like the water was instant death.
The engine was just jank in general.
Yeah. But it could be fun, like flying the Dodo. No one ever expected you to fly the Dodo, so once you got it, you couldn't pilot it. You could only fly it straight. So you'd have to aim it just right away from the main city, and if you did it, you got an Easter egg. You got to see Carson City, where the game Manhunt is filmed. You get to fly over that. Well, is set up, rather.
Aww.
Right. Baby. Mom.
He already knew he wasn't good enough to clear the water.
Burrito.
That is the end of this video, or I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Later.
Okay.
That's going to be my view in the next couple of weeks or so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're off on the 20th, is it?
Rough, around there, yeah. But yeah, like when I take the plane between, like sometimes I'll fly from here and then land in Vancouver, and then it's just Vancouver to Victoria, which is a smaller plane that doesn't fly as high, so you get to see all the waves and islands and stuff, which is fun. Or sometimes I fly from here to Toronto and then Toronto straight to Victoria, and I don't get that view. But you know, whatever the airline's doing.
All right.
The coffee poached eggs, definitely. Okay. What else we got? I don't know what the fuck Flavor Call is, so I guess we'll watch that.
All right.
Let's poach some eggs and coffee.
Because that's a normal sentence someone says.
All right.
Not necessarily a terrible idea, though. Maybe.
Get back on the heat source. Boy, I gotta tell you, this is not going how I thought it would.
This man does not know what poaching is.
It's like a marine creature. I suppose it's time we start thinking about a plan B for this. All right, we're just gonna try this again.
This man has no idea what poaching means.
That's two. You know what? I don't think that worked either. Oh, wait, never mind. I got it. Well, what do you want from me? A looker she ain't, but, you know, it made it out alive, so let's give it a taste test here. Here we go. Honestly, not bad at all. Do with a little bit of salt and pepper. If you ignore how it looks, it's pretty dang fantastic. A hint of coffee flavor with your eggs. It's not overpowering. It's perfect. I'll dock it a point just because it looks like a nightmare. I'm gonna have to give the poached eggs and coffee a 4 out of 5.
Or you could cook your eggs properly and not poach them at all, and have coffee on the side.
Hell yeah.
I'm not a big fan of poached eggs in general, but he definitely did not poach that correctly.
I don't mind poached eggs. I've been always more of an omelette man. If you had to put a gun to the back of my head.
And welcome back. I guess Flavor Call. If you ever wanted your popcorn to taste just like the movies, then this is the stuff you get.
Oh, it's the butter.
It looks like the box hasn't been updated since the 60s.
Butter salt.
And no, I'm not making a fashion statement with these gloves. I have a rash that can only be described as traveling. So I'm going to be wearing these black gloves until they, you know...
That's the stuff that she was crying earlier.
Here's where the
I was not... when he was describing the rash, I did not think that was the word he was going to use. I was expecting him to say horrific or something.
Mr. Sausage Black Glove Edition. Let's give it a taste. Wow. So that's like super concentrated butter salt. That's exactly, I think, as they describe it. There's something beautiful about when it's done right. So 6 ounces of corn, you're supposed to use half a teaspoon of flavacol. I'd say we give it a couple of shakes full. Wow, that is nuclear orange. I showed some restraint. I was gonna use the whole box,
You did
but
not.
I'm telling you, this stuff is super duper concentrated. And to that we'll add just a little bit of garlic powder and a bit of black pepper. You've lost that sausage feeling. Oh, that sausage feeling. That's the flavacol water.
Yes, it is.
3, 2, 1. Let's sausage.
It's too bad we never got a follow up on the girl crying yellow tears
It's a
thing.
pretty beautiful looking sausage. With special thanks to today's
I'd been
Mark
curious to find out what
Box
the answer
artist,
was, you know?
This guy! That's amazing. You've
Pop.
captured what I see when I close my eyes. So will it blow?
Terrifying.
Oh, that's buttery.
Look at the
Just a
stand.
little bit. A lot of it.
Does he not
but
wash
a little
that
bit,
thing?
So I'm gonna
The
have
wall?
to give that.
No.
Will it blow?
It just gets worse until one day it gets.
Well,
And to make
I
sure
said the stand, but the wall also applies. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
the
you're gonna
art
have
just gets
flies and shit in
destroyed.
there.
Oh, I'm sure Mrs. Sausage does make it clear what he can and cannot do. But like, remember, this is like the 4th box he's gone through now.
Sure, but the wall and the stand it's on,
popping
come
oil.
on.
Here we go.
See, that was a bit more realistic.
Slightly.
Pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, it's jumping out of the pan. Beautiful.
And we're just gonna take that out so it doesn't burn. All right, let's assume it's done. Well, it smells just like the movie theaters and pork. Let's open
That's
it
a
up
good
and see
combo.
how we did. That looks real buttery. Okay, here we go.
Arteries.
So the reason it's called butter salt is because it's got a ton of salt in it.
Yeah.
So it does taste like movie theater popcorn if you dump just a whole bunch of salt on it. We didn't go way overboard, but we did go overboard a little bit. And it could have used more garlic powder. The garlic would have really helped this sausage out. It tastes like cheap movie theater popcorn. How's the actual popcorn? That's not bad. The popcorn tastes more like sausage than the sausage. I'd give the popcorn like a 4 out of 5, but I think I'd give this
Stole the
sausage here
flavor.
just a 2.5 out of 5. Now I'm gonna go upstairs and strangle my wife. I'm dressed for it.
Yeah.
Look at how wet these gloves are. This is all sweat. I've sweat through these gloves. I'm gonna have to get like 20 pair for an episode.
They look cheap.
Yeah, those things
anyway.
do look like they trap heat like a motherfucker.
Oh, see this here, Experts React, the guy from he used to be working with GameStop. Not GameStop,
Remember this
GameSpot.
guy?
But
I've watched a few of these guys' videos before.
the you were mentioning Adamfall. Well, as he pointed out, in Adamfall, they actually went to him and used some of the guns he had on display as references. And he says that because there's one there that has a very specific bit of damage on it, and he shows the very same gun they modeled, and as he said, this was done by accident in testing back in the 50s, and this is the only model that has it. But then the guy, he's like, oh no, every model in the game of that gun has that little one, and he's like, yay, that's my little contribution to the game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Actually, they do a good job of modeling that because in the game, the guns have 3 levels of quality.
Yeah, I saw rust,
was it
pristine. And...
Yeah, rusty, stock, and pristine.
Mm.
And so the rusty ones do look, you can see the rust on them. They're all janked up, but then you can upgrade them. If you get the right skill, you can upgrade them yourself. So you can take 2 identical rusty guns and make them into a standard stock gun.
All right.
Or 2 standard stock guns to pristine them. And they look much nicer then.
Talk about hats. I wear this cowboy hat most of the time.
Fricassee
it is my
time.
favorite hat
No,
to
he's
wear.
talking about his hat.
I
Except
work
this is-
in it. I go to town
Yeah, but it's
in it.
him.
It is a Chaz
True.
Mitchell custom hat. Made by my good friend Chaz Mitchell up there in Utah. And the reason I like this hat, and I have wore Resistals, I have wore Stetsons, everything like that. This, he measures your head. He told me one time, he said, you got a lot of brains, so I need to make sure it'll fit and don't choke them too tight. But I also have his straw hat, and I really like to wear it a lot when it's really hot. But let's say I'm just cooking out there in the backyard. This is my go-to cap that feels good on my head. I've worn it for a long time. You can tell it is pretty weathered. No sleep till the brisket is done. This is my favorite going to town cap. It is my Riadosa cap. Feels good on my head. It's nice and cool. But whatever you're wearing on your head, I'm gonna tell you what my dad told me many years ago. Never judge a man by the hat he has on his head or the horse he's riding.
Neat.
Fair.
All right, let's. I'm ready to call.
Dude, judge him if he's driving a Cybertruck. If the horse he's riding is a Cybertruck, judge the fuck out of him.
True. Buff, Corel. Okay, as we don't have a guest, well, we might as
what
well.
do we got?
Yeah, you can pick the Slate Eater.
You know, I've never played that game, but yeah, let's go Jefferson Airplane. Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
I never played Metal Gear Solid Past 2.
Oh, Snake Eater is great because it's intentionally written to be dog shit. Like, it's not a good song at all. But the woman singing it starts describing what Snake does in the game. And it doesn't rhyme at all.
Okay, that's fun.
All right, so.
But I found number 2 to be too much just raw, undiluted Kojima bullshit. And I think he only got worse after that.
That's the point. That is the point where you're like, okay, I can take this guy or I can't. And as like I've watched footage of his very first game, which was a point and click game set in a cyberpunk future, with like androids and shit, about like a detective from the moon who has to go to New Tokyo and discover a crime, and it's all very Kojima. For example, the game can stop completely as you click on the flight attendant for your space plane, as she describes all the details of having of what she had to go through to be a flight attendant on a space plane, like because she had to factor in all like the gravity and shit like that. It's oddly
just mired in pointless bullshit, Kojima style, eh?
Or like you'll click on a car and he'll be like, man, I remember it must have been in 2025. I was a young kid in college and I saw this first car and it made me think of how crap the cars were when I was a kid. And then the new engines came out, and then you can go and start learning about the new semi-fusion engines that are doing it. It's just Kojima going, I like things. I want people to know about them.
Yeah. Did Buff upgrade his wall hanging to a comforter?
I think he did, yeah. Okay, so before we go, what is something you want to promote, if anything?
Yeah. Nothing much, really. Try Star Wars Outlaws if you like stealth games. It's actually good.
And
the protagonist is a little bland, maybe, but everything else about the game is pretty cool. Good NPCs.
Don't want to be inside tomorrow, so I might not stream tomorrow, but if I do, it'll be late in the evening, and it will almost certainly be Far Cry 5, which we can play for the first time here. And then also important, this time next week, we will have Ignar back. That'll be good.
Cool.
Do like Ignar. He's
weird. Rather husky, I've heard.
Yeah, he's rather husky indeed. Check out the Discord and the links down below. And I'm kind of running on empty, so boop.
Yeah, what's poppin'? It's your boy Buff Crub. Be back. I'm up at Delta back in tough friend. Your boy Buff Roo 122 back on upper rah levels. Tell a guy on the 1539s. You know what they gonna do? White graphic rabbit. Jefferson
White graphic
Airplane
rabbit.
Your boy Buff Crub back on the upper depth levels 159. This guy further.
The upper delta level.
Ready, say, go.
His pants are extra baggy today.
A little bit. It's funny because as you open this up, I was thinking to myself, I know who Jefferson Airplane is, but I'm not familiar with what song this is. But the instant the song started, I'm immediately like, oh yeah, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, this is the scene in the Nam movie where they're trying heroin or like LSD for the first time.
Yeah. This is definitely a drug use scene song. But there's so many songs that I don't know the titles of.
Yeah, but when you hear them,
So like, I don't know that song, and then the song plays. I do know this.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
That's White Rabbit.
Mother gives you, don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice.
Alice.
When she's 10 feet tall.
And an Egyptian.
Egyptian, some for sure.
You know you're going to fall. Tell them hookah, smoking caterpillar has given you
Caterpillar? Caterpillar, not caterpillar, caterpillar.
when she's 10 feet small.
You know, it's funny for drugs to be referencing Alice in Wonderland because that man was absolutely on all the drugs when he wrote that.
Okay, so I'm just thinking like it should be like a establishing shot in like a CD bar in Hanoi, and it's Buff is there on leave with his troupe, and he's just singing this song as karaoke in the background, and he's the same, but he's just like in the background singing while like the main characters are talking.
As you were describing that I was picturing something slightly different in my mind, like the same setup with the bar and everything, but instead of him walking in and hanging out with his friends, it was like the cyberpunk player character walks in and goes into the back, and Buff Corell is his fixer, giving him a job. He's hanging with Rogue in the back.
I don't think Buff needs any sort of stimulant. The Corel system.
Also, in honor of May the 4th, Raisin just posted 2 robots go to a drug dealer's mansion to help steal his wall art and blow up his yacht.
All right.
Ooh, the Outer Worlds song. That was a good one, actually. I don't know if you've watched that guy's channel. He's very good.
What? Stipendium? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I showed you. I think I introduced you to him.
Quite possibly. I don't remember. Very, very possible. Yeah, his Outer Worlds song is pretty good. He's definitely got a bunch of bangers.
Steph shows up in a music video for one of them. I forget which.
Steph?
Stephanie Sterling.
Oh yeah. She did some. He was on some of her videos too. They've done back and forth collab stuff.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go and crash out with my book. I'm currently on Mechanicum, which is the 9th book in the Horus Heresy series. Although I've read it like 3 times now. So
I've been really stuck on the Horus Heresy series because I'm still missing a few at the end of the series, and so I've got about a 10-book run at the end of the whole Horus Heresy series that I can't finish because there's holes in the gap there, and they're incredibly hard to get hold of because they're not printing them anymore.
Well, what I do is I just go to Audible and just buy the audiobook.
Yeah, I might have to break down and do that, but I don't like to do the audiobooks because I like to. Well, I guess I could. I usually read while I'm on the shitter or on the bus, so I guess I could do audiobook. I would just have to bring earbuds with me because I don't want to be one of those people that makes everybody on the bus listen to my phone. You know?
No, and especially who the hell would do that to an audiobook? All right.
Or maybe I could get an ebook version.
Yeah, that would
put an ebook reader on my phone.
Well,
yeah.
Usually if you get it with Audible, you can also download the PDF. So.
Yeah, I would prefer to do the read version, but I might have to do that for some of them. I've already got a few of them that I can't read because I don't have the ones before them, but maybe I could fill in the gaps with some ebooks. I don't know. It's not my preference, but it might be the only option.
All right.
That or eBay for like $100. Fuck that.
All right. I'm out of here. Bye, everyone.